Opening tip here in Cincinnati. The Bearcats in their home white, St. John's in their road reds. The Red Storm at 0-1 in conference play. The Bearcats coming in 1-0 off of a road win at Pittsburgh. And this is Kashmir Wright running the point for a very strong perimeter game. Sean Kilpatrick trying to rattle it in and out. And Chris Obekpa with the rebound for the Red Storm. One of the top young big men in the Big East. Here is Obekpa at the other end, hanging and hard off the glass. And the strip by Kashmir Wright, taking it away from Harrison.
Well, Cincinnati's going to be very, very careful about letting D'Angelo Harrison do anything in the lane, especially with his right hand. That time they were aware with the weak side help. Harrison
coming off a 36-point outburst, the best at St. John's in 6 years. And it wasn't good enough to beat Villanova on the road. The lob into Sheck Mudge with the left hand. And the box out is there from Jakar Sampson. Sampson trying to bounce back from a subpar outing in that Villanova defeat. And St. John's has been forced to shake up the starting lineup. Jamal Branch got poked in the eye yesterday at practice. So they go with the bigger Amir Garrett as their fifth starter at 6'6".
Cincinnati will spread the ball around against this 3-2 matchup zone. They'll flash into the middle, try to go inside, then back out to their strength at the guard spot.
St. John's settles into the 2-3 zone. This is a very good three-point shooting Cincinnati team, and the guards strong off the bounce. Wright trying to use the Jackson screen, and Kashmir will hang and hit.
Now again, St. John's, similar to the Villanova game, Cincinnati screening the top of the zone. Cincinnati getting into the gaps.
Sampson, his shot off the mark, and the rebound by Sheck Mudge.
Villanova just laid off Jakar Sampson, and he had his worst game of the year. And Cincinnati's going to make him shoot that outside shot.
Jaquan Parker up to Sean Kilpatrick. We've got a whistle and a timeout as the officials have noticed Chris Obekpa has some blood on his face.
Steve Lavin wants to know how he didn't bite his tongue. How did that happen?
And Chris wants to come back on, but the officials there, Brian O'Connell sending him back over. He's got a split lip, it looks like, the top lip.
As far as I know, back in my playground, Beth, that never happens from your own elbow.
Exactly. Brian O'Connell, Jeff Anderson, Pat Driscoll are officials today. Obekpa, the freshman from Nigeria who played some high school ball in New York State.
Play on.
Kashmir Wright with the basket, the lone bucket of the game thus far, and he's got the basketball right now. Fourth all-time in assists. He is on the verge of passing Oscar Robertson into third place all-time. Cincinnati attacking the glass. And a held ball. Garrett and Mudge. And it will go to St. John's. Steve Lavin, amongst other things, told us pregame that rebounding will be critical for the St. John's club. They got hurt on the boards against Villanova.
Well, they're -4.5 on the season. Again, Villanova just bludgeoned them on the boards. You know, can't say it any other way. -14, and you know, Cincinnati, one of the best in the country. They're +10 on the season, so a big concern, especially those long rebounds from those threes from the guards. Cincinnati's forwards and guards got to get back into play and get in the mix.
Sampson. They'll give it up. Sir Dominic Pointer has checked into the ball game. Phil Green's first attempt won't go. This is a young St. John's team. Just about everybody we'll see tonight. Freshmen, sophomores, transfers.
St. John's not going to extend to the non-shooters, but got to be very aware of those gaps on the wings as Cincinnati will try to attack those gaps, drive and kick.
First turnover for the Bearcats. Jaquan Parker called for the travel. Cincinnati will man up defensively. Off of the switch, Green on the drive, can't finish it. Mudge with another rebound. A one-and-done trip for the Red Storm. Wright shooting over the top of the zone as the defender got caught in some traffic.
That's a mirror of what Villanova did. Just came down right at the top, wide open, feet set, no contest.
Another one-and-done trip for St. John's.
St. John's has to make some adjustments, and Cincinnati will screen the top every possession down. They've got to have that help come over from the weak side, or one of the forwards step up from the middle.
Yeah, St. John's does not want to see another Ryan Garciacano type of situation. They gave up a lot of threes down in Philadelphia.
It was concerning because they were wide open. I mean, St. John, Villanova didn't really run a lot of different things. They just came up and pinned the middle man of that 3-2, and nobody stepped up, and he had his feet set pretty much all night with no resistance.
How about the Cincinnati defense, Tim? What impresses you about this end of the floor for the Bearcats?
Yeah, they're on a string. They understand their roles. They switch 1 through 4. They let the bigs stay home in the middle of the floor as a shot blocker, but everybody on the perimeter will do a lot of switching. So you've got to have a lot of movement, and you probably need to do some ball screening to try to get some mismatches.
Sampson with Jackson right on him. And the foul is going to be called, I believe, with Sampson going up for the shot. Patrick, who is 4th right now in the Big East Conference in scoring, and the foul right before the timeout will send Jakar Sampson to the free throw line. The freshman from Akron, Ohio, just 62% on the season. Able to knock down the first 3 times already this year. Sampson has been the Big East Rookie of the Week.
Steve Lavin talked about it with us before the game. This is a bounce-back game because he had such a poor game the other night against Villanova in his first league game. Now, can you bounce back and be the consistent player that we've seen through the first 2 months of the season?
And St. John's, after the make, will show some full-court pressure. 2-2-1, and Cincinnati showing some patience. One thing that Mick Cronin has talked about this week, Tim, is his club getting off to a better start in the first half, and patience a big deal for them offensively.
It is, and they're going to have to get through this first wave of pressure. It attacks you from the half court all the way back to the three-point line, but then you see there's some gaps as you break it forward.
Narsic was wide open in the paint. He gives it up. Wright will try for 3 to beat the shot clock buzzer, and he's got it. 8 points, all 8 points for Cincinnati coming from Wright.
Well, that's inside out. That's how you beat the zone, and maybe you think Narsic should have taken it, but he doesn't feel confident with that part of his game yet. Nice recognition on the kick back out.
Obekpa leaving it off for Green. Tries to get it back to Obekpa, and they turn it over. Cincinnati so good in transition. Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick tapping himself on the chest saying, hey, my bad on that pass.
Well, when you look inside, you've got to shrink the defense, and when you get the ball inside, everyone attacks in, and Cincinnati does a good job of finding that angle so they can have that open pass lane back out.
We'll get it into Narsic. Right off the dribble, tried to lob it in for Narsic, couldn't hang on, and now St. John's has numbers the other way. Harrison will pull up for 3, and the follow and the finish is good from Obekpa.
There's the 1-2 punch. Harrison and Obekpa every game gets better. There's a new little piece to follow.
Rubles kicks it back outside. The shot off the mark from Jermaine Sanders.
Got to be aware, St. John's will run on both misses and makes.
Obekpa can't knock it down. Rubles to Kilpatrick. Sanders underneath with the left hand.
That's how you beat this zone. You kind of have to flatten it out, get it down to the baseline, because sometimes St. John's, with their inexperience, is slow to recover and rotate.
Harrison works it inside, knocked out of bounds by Cincinnati.
Well, Harrison's going to attack full bore all the time, all out. Steve Lavin, no breaks on this young man. He gets it up on the rim, and on the backside follow, both guys could have jumped, took care of that, and Obekpa finished it clean.
D'Angelo Harrison, just a sophomore. Of course, Mo Harkless, the Big East Rookie of the Year, moving on to the NBA. So Harrison now has taken over front and center. Shot off the mark from Sampson.
That's a good look, though, by Sampson. That's his game, that kind of mid-baseline jumper and then attack into the wing from the wing area.
Kilpatrick probing the perimeter of that zone. Sanders will end up with Kilpatrick. Corner three, rattled it in and out. Beckpa's got another board.
St. John's doing some ball screening against this switching defense. They got to try to get Harrison off the bounce, going with his strong right hand.
Yeah, we saw Cincinnati working on that shoot around today. Make him go left. And Sampson called for the walk. That's the fourth St. John's turnover already.
Cincinnati just doing a tremendous job of containment. You know, they're so good because they get up in you, but they don't give anything. So a lot of times the teams that press you so hard will allow you to get into the middle of the paint, will allow dribble penetration, kind of force you into the help or the shot blockers, but they pressure you and just force you sideline, never let you get a sniff inside the lane.
St. John's did a good job, too, Tim, in the non-conference taking care of the basketball, but in the Big East it might be a different story. 16 turnovers the other night, and 4 here already.
Yeah, Jamal Branch will help him. I don't know if we'll see him today with the eye issue that he had from last night, but once they can go 3 guards, I think it'll give him a better look.
Jamal Branch has not played yet, got poked in the eye in practice last night. Speaking of good guards, Murray State has one. They're coming up next with the Racers. Of course, Mick Cronin knows that area of the country real well. That's our next game coming up. Isaiah Cannon averaging 21 points per game for the Racers. They had a win actually earlier this year against St. John's.
Isaiah Cannon, absolutely one of the 2 or 3 best guards in the country.
Tough shot from Harrison, gets it to go over the taller defender.
Well, that guy's going to come into the discussion. He keeps throwing up 36 in Big East games. He's going to be looked at in as one of the top guards in the country as well.
Under 11 and a half to go. 10-6 Cincy on the drive. Kilpatrick had it knocked loose. We'll take the timeout along with the team. Cincinnati at home with the lead over St. John's. 11:22 to go here in the first half. Well, basketball stars highlight the Geico ESPN High School Showcase coming up tonight. Montverde of Florida and Simeon out of the Chicago area. Both of those teams with 3 Division I prospects, including Duke signee Jabari Parker for Simeon. Then at 8 o'clock, it's Gonzaga and Salesian, including Villanova signee Chris Jenkins on that Gonzaga club. The Geico ESPN High School Basketball Showcase tonight on ESPN2, ESPNU, and also live on the Watch ESPN app. For Cincinnati, well, a hot start for Kashmir Wright. He's got 8 of their 10 points including 3 of 3 shooting.
You know, St. John's absolutely has to extend their zone and give a lot of help off the bounce to all 3 guards, because the inside guys are not really guys that they're going to look to score. And you look at the guards, they're going to come down. You see Kashmir Wright just kind of saunters into the shot right there. You've got to get up quicker, make him put the ball on the floor, make him feel some pressure.
Cincinnati shooting 44%. St. John's starting out hitting just 2 of their first 11 shots are at 18% from the floor as Wright drives in and has it deflected out of bounds. 3 on the shot clock here for the inbound underneath the hoop.
For them to go opposite or corner ball side for a quick 3.
They try the lob into Mudge, and that pass is deflected and taken away by Obekba. Now quick in transition, and the easy lay-in at the other end, Sir Dominic Pointer.
Well, that's where St. John's will make you pay. If you don't sprint back and make them play 5-on-5, that's when their eyeballs light up, because they can attack and finish as good as anybody.
And in the passing that time for Harrison. 13 on the shot clock. Kilpatrick coming back into the Cincinnati lineup. 18 points per game, 6 rebounds. Last Bearcat to average those numbers for a season, by the way, Kenyon Martin back in the 2000 season. Jackson spinning in the lane. Another good defensive set for St. John's. On the run, Pointer. The kick out to Harrison. Obekba tries to clean it up. Scramble for the loose ball. And Cincinnati able to keep it alive. Right to Kilpatrick. And he'll take it the length of the floor, and the goaltending call on St. John's.
Well, you know, you look at that loose ball. St. John's really scrappy, and then Kilpatrick just takes Harrison's legs right out from under him with nothing called, and Cincinnati took full advantage.
So pressure now from Cincinnati.
That might have been a penalty in the Bengals game later on tonight.
Balamu with the lay-in. Felix, the freshman, coming in off the bench to contribute. Yeah, it might be tough for Cincinnati fans today. The Bengals are playing this afternoon down in Houston. The students are not yet back in from the corner right. That's his first miss. Harrison taking it the distance. And he was the last guy to touch it. 5 St. John's turnovers.
D'Angelo Harrison, there's where you see a little bit different, a lot of difference from his demeanor from a year ago. Those last 2 plays, the one where he got his legs cut out from under him, and that one where he thought the ball was stripped or he maybe was fouled, a year ago would have gotten the refs' faces, made faces on himself, but now he's just playing on next play. They've done a great job with him. He's done also a good job with himself.
Inside, and the foul will send Mudge to the free throw line.
Well, Cincinnati not known for even looking inside, but they're doing a better job as of late of balancing their game. And that time, Mudge did a great job of posting up, sealing, getting good space down in the low box.
Mudge misses on the first. Sheck just 60% from the free throw line. Well, St. John's, they lost 4 guys in the overtime game, 4 DQs against Villanova midweek. And really got hurt at the free throw line by the Wildcats as Mudge gets 1 of 2. Life can be cruel on the road sometimes.
A little bit different level. It's the varsity. He moved up to the varsity playing Big East games.
Well, and certainly for a Red Storm team that is so young, you'd love to start out with a home game, but St. John's a couple on the road to start things out. And the 6th turnover for the young Johnnies.
St. John's got a little happy feet going, and that's caused by the pressure, the resistance. You know, when you get by your man, there's always somebody else coming and attacking you. They've got to make that extra pass.
Kilpatrick. Last touched by Cincinnati. So other than Kashmir Wright, the rest of the Bearcats cold to start.
The zone is giving him some problem. I mean, St. John's has tightened it up at times. You know, they've been very good at containing the ball penetration.
Sampson dropping it off for Obekpa. Goes to the hook. And the foul going to be called, the shove, going for the rebound on St. John's. The first on Balamu. That is the second team foul on St. John's. 5 for Cincinnati, or 1 for Cincinnati thus far. Right. And he's got to be called for the walk. You can see he hesitated, thought he might pitch it into the corner for Parker, and then the defense shifted.
Well, St. John's zone has got Cincinnati a little unnerved here. They're not getting a good flow. There's not a lot of movement, and they struggle with getting into the gaps and getting it to their big men who aren't really good finishers. And St. John's knows that, so they're really focused on the 3 guards outside and kind of letting them letting the bigs go one-on-one inside.
Well, Mick Cronin, he's always played good defense here at Cincinnati. He wanted to be a bit more up-tempo offensively this year, but St. John's with that zone really taking that away from them.
St. John's is not afraid. They've got a little pop in their step, a little sting from the other night against Villanova where they felt like they could have won the game, so they've bounced back nicely so far.
Inside, and the lay-in is good. And St. John's within 1. They've been hanging on the boards as well. That's a big reason why they're able to stick around despite some turnover issues. Final shot on the dribble penetration, that time from Shaquille Thomas. News for St. John's, they are actually out-rebounding Cincinnati, one of the top rebounding teams in the country. They have limited fast break opportunities as well. St. John's in the all-red, Cincinnati, home whites. And the rebound by Wright off the Sampson miss. Three-pointer is good from Rubles.
Well, we knew he'd make one. He's 1 for 21 on the season. There must be a reason he's shooting, not just because he's open. He must be a guy that's capable, and he looked pretty capable right there.
As a team, they make over 7 per game. Here's the leak out and an opportunity on the run, and Wright has the shot blocked. Amir Garrett. Big denial for St. John's. Garrett at the other end, that won't go. Parker with the nice block out, and the foul going to be called on Chris Obekpa. That's his first. Let's check and see if this is a goaltend.
It looked like Wright had the ball up on the glass, and clearly it's above the rim and hit the window, and that's an easy call. Mick Cronin, correct. Had a good angle from his side of the floor, and that's easy. 2 points.
Well, it's been a rough week for the officials nationwide after the Marquette-Georgetown overtime situation, and then the Colorado-Arizona last-second situation. Mudge takes it back for Cincinnati. Wright, open 3, got it from the corner. Kashmir Wright already with 11 points. Timeout, St. John's. They were an NCAA tournament team, and now this year the youngest in the country. A lot of potential for the Red Storm. Can they put it together on the court? Jakar Sampson giving us a little sample. The tip-in won't go. And a foul on the stick back. That'll be against Cincinnati, and Jack Mudge his first.
Now, I think a lot of people have a misconception of this goaltending call and the rule. Now, you can block the ball off the glass if it's below the rim. And before, if it was on its flight downward, even most of the time you pinned it on the glass after it hit the glass, it was 2 points. But now they've changed the rule. It's got to be above the rim, which it clearly was on that last play.
Sampson gets the first free throw. Here's another look.
Yep. It was above the rim, but heck of a play. In the summertime, that would be play on it. West 4th Street in New York, that would never be called. But in the Big East, you have to call that.
Goaltending's a dirty word in most parks, isn't it? Garrett will
you don't get
out.
picked out. You don't get picked again if you call somebody on goaltending.
Red Storm, after made free throws, have been applying some token pressure. It hasn't affected Kashmir Wright at all. He's 4 of 6, but the rest of the club 3 of 10. The lob from Kilpatrick into Mudge. Got some extra attention, can't convert, and on the breakaway, Harrison finding Obekba. Big guy running rim to rim.
Well, Cincinnati has a little bit of a dilemma here because St. John's is clearly going to give them everything they want inside, but their bigs just really struggle to finish. That time Mudge had just a wide open play. You saw him, he's wide open again, but they won't pass it to him.
Right. Short on that shot. Fans wanted to travel on Harrison as Rubles knocks it out from behind. Well, certainly if you're St. John's, don't you want anybody other than the big 3 guards really to take those kinds of shots?
Absolutely, because Cincinnati will not pass the ball whether in half court, man or zone, to their bigs. They don't do anything for them. They're out there as defenders. They'll put back shots, and you may see Mick Cronin go small if they continue to struggle to score.
Balamu short. Sampson elevates, leaves it short. He'll have another chance, and this time it's true. Good work by St. John's. They obviously got Coach Lavin's chatter all week about doing a better job on the glass.
Put their hard hats on. They're playing tough today.
Off the missed 3, the long rebound, a chance for St. John's to run. Balamu walked. We've seen a bit of sloppy play on both ends. In fact, more turnovers than field goals to this point. With 4:45 to go.
Cincinnati also has to be aware as they flatten out the zone and take those corner threes that somebody's got to slide back for defensive balance from the weak side. And the St. John's, they get that rebound in the lane and they don't rotate back, they're going to have some runouts.
St. John's usually awfully good, but once again, that's going to be a different story. At least it has been thus far through their first game and a half in the Big East, with a little different level of competition. St. John's, Pointer will push and get the lay-in. Timeout, Cincinnati. Mick Cronin not
over UNLV, and did a really good job in Anthony Bennett in that game, the terrific freshman for UNLV.
Cincinnati looking at a deficit on the scoreboard here with just over 4 to go. Jackson has the shot blocked. That was Obekba, top shot blocker in the country.